A very good Tuesday morning to you. We appreciate you being here with us on the First Alert desk. Oh man, it's been a while since I've been up here, obviously being on paternity leave, raising a newborn, but it's back to the grind, back to work, and it's so great to be back with you guys. I am Brooks Baptiste. We appreciate you being with us. We got to get you caught up on all the different stories that are making headlines right now in and around Atlanta because there are so many, including a woman now fighting for her life this morning. This is after she was shot while simply riding in the passenger seat of a car. Want to show you some of the video from all of this happening earlier this morning. And we've had a reporter on scene out there. Our very own Bridget Spencer has been out there this morning. This is in Atlanta. Atlanta police tell us that that shooting happened on Fulton and Pryor Street, and they say this happened just after 3:20 this morning, and that the injured woman was in the passenger seat. She happened to be in a car, was leaving, and then all of this unfolds and transpires. So Fulton and Pryor Street, where exactly that happened, and the woman was hit in the upper body area. Now that driver was who was hit is expected to survive. They were able to make it to the connector off of I-75, but that woman was rushed to a hospital. Police say she's not doing too well.
Not exactly sure if the incident stemmed from Attic City, but they were leaving that area. We're going to use all the resources that we have at our disposal to bring this to closure.
Now, police say that that shooter is still on the loose right now. They don't have a description of a car that they're looking for. So they're really trying to comb through some evidence and trying to piece together a couple of different things. So here's what you can do to help in a situation like this. If you happen to be in the area, you are urged to give Crime Stoppers a call. You're urged to give Atlanta police a call. Anything that can help them lead to an arrest or help them get to the bottom of what exactly happened and why all of this took place, that would be helpful to them. A developing story that we're staying on top of throughout the day. Make sure you have the Atlanta News First app. Download it to your phone because, of course, we send out push alerts whenever we get new details to you so you can get it first. You don't even have to wait until the new newscast until we get something new about that story because typically we'll be able to push that out to you as soon as it comes into the newsroom. Now, let's talk about the big story that everybody's really talking about today. Former President Donald Trump soon to turn himself in. And if you've been following this story, you know there's so many elements. He's been in the headlines for quite some time now. Now he has returned to New York City. And we can tell you that he's expected to face an arraignment on criminal charges for his alleged involvement in a hush money payment that was made to an adult film star during his 2016 campaign. So the former president got back to Manhattan yesterday from Florida, from his Mar-a-Lago estate, and he gave supporters, I don't know if you can see right there, let me see if I could actually start this video back over again just to give you an idea of what exactly he did. You see him there. He gives a quick little wave to his supporters as he walked into the Trump Tower. Now, people are planning to protest the indictment in New York City tomorrow, including Georgia's very own Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, but the mayor of New York City had a message for her. Take a listen to this.
Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is known to spread misinformation and hate speech, she stated she's coming to town. While you're in town, be on your best behavior.
A lot of eyes right now on New York because we know that protests, when they happen, they aren't always so pretty. So a lot of people on the edge of their seats just trying to see what exactly is going to happen. Many saying, hopefully we don't see anything like we saw back on January 6th of last year, or excuse me, a couple years ago now. I'm always thinking, like, what year are we in? We're in 2023. But of course, a lot of people are really going to be on the edge of their seats just trying to see exactly what's going to happen with all of these protests. But again, we're going to be having continuous coverage today about all of this starting at 1:30 right here on the First Alert desk. So be sure to tune in for that. We've got a little bit of everything from experts and whatnot who are going to be really helping us analyze all of this information and dive into it. Now, I do want to point this out because while waiting for former President Trump to turn himself in, we're also keeping a close eye on Fulton County's special grand jury investigation into whether he or his allies tried to overturn the 2020 election. That's another big headline, right? Now, We don't know when or if those charges could be brought here, but after speaking with a law professor at Georgia State, he suggests we may get somewhat of a hint on when that could happen if we start seeing charges against other people involved, and that includes the handful of officials who posed as fake electors a month after the results were finalized here in Georgia. So again, we'll be staying on top of that for you throughout the day, so be sure to tune in there. All right, let's get to your next story, which is somewhat of a bizarre one. Let me get my elements together over here. I'm telling you, it's been a little minute since I've had to do this, so we're working on it. A potential juror jailed 3 days for filming in court. What a headline, right? You would think probably people who were participating in jury duty probably would say, I probably wouldn't pull my phone out, right? Matter of fact, I believe that's something that they tell you to do, is keep your phone to yourself. But the process to seat a jury in the trial involving Atlanta rapper Young Thug, we know this has been quite challenging. It's already been a long one. This is now 3 months into this thing, and we know that it's going to continue to go on. It's at another snag. We've learned a potential juror was sentenced to 3 days in jail after filming the court proceedings on her phone. So I'm going to see if I can get back to start this video over one more time just to give you an idea of how security guards, were leading the woman out of the Fulton County Courthouse in handcuffs. And this just happens to be the latest disruption in that jury selection process that has now been going on for 3 months. Now, rapper Young Thug and 13 others are facing various gang-related charges. Still, at this moment, all of these months into this thing, not a single juror has been seated. So we'll be staying on top of that as well for you. 404, it is the 4th day of April. Yes, April 4th, 404. A pretty popular area code here. They've got all these other area codes now in Atlanta because so many people live here. But if you look around on social media, you're likely going to see hashtag 404 Day. And this is really just a way to celebrate everything Atlanta. Several groups planning activities on this day. The city has listed several Atlanta pubs that are going to be taking part in all of the fun. They're going to be having a signature event at Piedmont Park. They've also got a food and vendor market plus DJs and live music that's going to be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So kicking off in just about 3 hours, a little under 3 hours, the Atlanta Braves going to be hosting a free festival in celebration of 404 Day as well. And that's going to be happening at the Battery right outside the baseball stadium. So, of course, if you've got some kids that are on spring break right now, that might not be a bad idea for you to get out there and celebrate that. Mayor Andre Dickens actually piggybacking on the 404 Day to focus on his Year of the Youth initiative. We know he's very passionate about youth, really trying to keep them out of trouble, really trying to make sure that they're staying busy, but keeping you busy as well, because he's hosting a mentorship challenge, basically asking Atlantans, what better way to serve the city that you quote unquote love by becoming a mentor for our city's youth. And he has a goal of 404 mentors signing up today. So we've got more information for you on all of that on our website at letternewsfirst.com and, of course, on our free app. Now, I know if you have kids out for spring break, or maybe you're just celebrating being at the house, or maybe you're just trying to figure out your lunch plans, your dinner plans, how you're going to celebrate 404 Day. You're thinking about this weather right now, and you're saying, when I step outside, why in the world is it just feeling so yucky? We've had fog coming in. So let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi, who's going to come on in. And Courtney, how long is this fog going to stick around?
So only for another couple of hours or so. Thankfully, this is going to be making its way out, and you can kind of see that here on over Centennial Olympic Park. That fog's starting to lift. Now just some low-lying clouds out there. I'm going to situate myself because the way my height works is I'm about 7 inches shorter than Brooks, so hang on. No, you're okay, Brooks. So anyway, the fog's starting to lift now. Just a overcast morning out there for some of us. In the city, in downtown, the fog is starting to lift, but south of us, we still have some issues with the fog. So good morning, everybody. I know it's been a dreary, a misty, a drizzly, and kind of just uncomfortable, yucky start to the day, but we will see improving conditions as we head through your afternoon. So hang in there, because some nicer weather is on the way for 404 Day, so you will be able to go and celebrate and just wander around our beautiful city and all of the events going on today, including the one at Truist Park. I will tell you, I was looking into the one at Truist Park because I live over in Cobb County and just love going to the Battery. The events going on at the 404 celebration, which also I think is going to pay tribute to Hank Aaron, should be a lot of fun today. Of course, Blooper is going to be there. The Atlanta Ballet is going to be there. There's just all kinds of cool stuff going on. So if you got kids, you love the Braves, you're getting excited for the season to start in a couple days, which we'll have the forecast for, maybe that's a fun spot to go hang out. In the meantime, again, conditions are improving across the area, but we definitely still have some dense fog out there. We do have a first alert through about 11 o'clock this morning, so for about another 45 minutes to an hour, because of the chance for dense fog that will be out there. But as we continue to warm up and everything starts to lift and all this starts to evaporate, then we will have better conditions through the day. But places like Carroll County, still very limited visibility, under half a mile. Same down towards the Griffin area and LaGrange, so Troup and Meriwether County, Lamar, Pike, and Upson County, parts of Coweta and Fayette County still in some pretty thick fog. When you see the red color like that, that's usually about half a mile of visibility. But for the most part, we're starting to see improvement, especially north of the city. And north of the city, you weren't included in our dense fog advisory for the morning, so you've been looking pretty good. It's really just south of the city where we're starting to get some of that Gulf moisture move in, and that's going to help really thicken up the clouds and ultimately give us a rain chance later this week. But for the morning, as we started to cool pretty nicely through the overnight hours after that really dreary day yesterday, closer to the coast where more moisture was present, that's where the fog kind of set up. So places like Dallas over in Paulding County, so southern Paulding County, still with 0 miles of visibility. It doesn't even look like a tenth of a mile ringing in there. So definitely still dealing with some very dense fog. Take it easy out there. Looking out over Sandy Springs, look at that. Or from Sandy Springs, looking out over downtown from Sandy Springs. You can't even see the skyline. So definitely seeing some thick cloud cover out there. Fog is technically a cloud at the surface, so when it's not at the surface, it's just a low-lying cloud. So it's starting to lift, but not high enough yet where we can see the skyline. Still can't see that. 60 right now in the city of Atlanta, a little warmer. We are going to kick off a nice little warming trend after only hitting the upper 50s yesterday. So we're already warmer than where we were yesterday afternoon. Temperatures hovered in the 50s for most of the day yesterday. 57 in Dallas, 59 in Canton and in Gainesville, 64 in Blairsville, and 60 in Locust Grove. So a pretty chilly morning out there. I'd have a jacket as you head out the door. You won't need it through the day, though. We'll keep the first alert again through about 11 o'clock, and then we'll start to see a clearing of skies. We'll go from foggy and overcast to mostly cloudy by your lunchtime, and then we'll end up partly to mostly cloudy, so some of us will see a good bit of sunshine, especially north of the city today. If you're in places like Cobb County, Cherokee County, who haven't seen the fog this morning and you've had just clear skies from start to finish, you could actually head into the 80s today. But upper 70s for most of us, mid to upper 70s. Maybe a quick passing shower. Our rain chance is so small, we're not even including it really. But really just a mainly dry day. Could, again, have a stray shower, but for the most part dry, and partly to mostly cloudy with mid to upper 70s, so a nice warm spring-like day. Overnight, low mid 60s, so we'll continue our warming trend. Tomorrow going to be particularly warm, and we'll have partly cloudy skies. Our forecast high temperature, 86. The record is 88, so we're going to flirt with record heat tomorrow, everyone. And that was set all the way back in 1887. When I told Ella that, she's like, I don't know why I thought they didn't even keep records that far back. It's hard to remember exactly when they started taking records, but we were also joking around. How are they taking records back in 1887? You think it was with one of those feather pens? Wouldn't that be interesting to find out? Either way, it's going to be we're going to be very close to record heat that we haven't set for a very, very, very long time. Now, enjoy the drier weather that we're going to experience the next couple days, because clearly, as we round out the week and head into the weekend, yeah, we're looking ahead to another fairly unsettled and rainy weekend. In fact, we do have a first alert for Saturday, as Saturday looks to be a washout, especially for the morning into the first half of the day. We could start to see that rain taper off late in the evening Saturday. We'll keep our fingers crossed because, of course, the Braves are in town Saturday night. But right now, I would prepare for just an all-around rainy day. It's going to be a day to sit inside, watch movies, catch up on some Netflix, maybe go to the movie theater. It's going to be an indoors activity kind of day. Bowling. When's the last time you've gone bowling? There's a lot of bowling alleys around here that are a lot of fun. So think of the indoor activities. That's why the first alert is there. All you parents who are trying to plan spring breakout, indoors for Saturday, probably for most of the day Friday as well. But we'll have about a 30% coverage of rain on Thursday. That's mainly northwest of the city as a cold front approaches. A lot of the rain will stay focused along that, but we still could have a few stray showers out ahead of that. And then we'll increase the rain chances Friday and Saturday. Easter Sunday, about 30% coverage of rain mainly for the morning. The afternoon looks drier, so you might need the umbrella as you're making your way to church services Sunday morning. But other than that, if you have any brunch plans, lunch or dinner plans, we should start to dry out. And then we'll keep a small chance for rain Monday, but we will enter into a drier pattern next week overall. So as we go into Thursday, of course, this is the Braves home opener. You might have noticed a few little kind of passing green blobs. That indicates the chance for maybe isolated showers, but I'm bringing you to 7 o'clock because first pitch is at 7:20. So around 7 p.m. and even in the early evening, if you're heading over to Truist Park early, the Battery, they always have all the fun activities going on before the game, especially for the first game of the season here at home. Maybe an isolated shower. This model, of course, we're still several days out, so you can't kind of look at this and say, oh, look, it's going to be completely dry. I'm showing you this because notice how we've seen a couple of those green blobs, including over near Powder Springs around 7 o'clock. So the chance for maybe an isolated passing shower is possible, but by and large, the day is going to be dry for most of us, especially the closer to the city you get. So Cobb County should be mainly dry on Thursday. Temperatures will be in the 70s. We'll dip into the 60s probably by the end of the game. So overall, a really comfortable night. The humidity will be a little higher. I won't lie. We'll have a little more moisture in the air. That's going to help with our unsettled end to the week. So it might be a little more muggy than you might like, but not summertime humidity. So it won't be summertime sticky out there, but it will be pretty comfortable. You'll just notice it's not going to be that cool, crisp air that we've had in the winter months, of course. So here's a look at the series as a whole. So 60% coverage of rain for the game on Friday. Friday night does look to be a little rainier. The afternoon and evening looks to be a little rainy. So best day to go to the game is definitely going to be Thursday or Sunday if you're able to. Friday and Saturday, which I'm sure is the day a lot of you probably do have tickets to go because that's a little more conducive to schedules and work schedules. It does look to be pretty rainy, especially Saturday. Saturday is just going to be a rainy day as a whole, but hopefully we can get the rain out by the evening. So we'll be fine tuning that forecast. But right now, for the whole series here at home, it looks like Thursday and Sunday are going to be the best days. Which, speaking of Easter Sunday, coming up in just a few days here, chilly morning, temperatures in the 40s, and then the afternoon only in the 60s. So if you have any dinner plans, any brunch plans, you look good to go. But again, maybe a few showers for the morning on Easter. We'll be watching for that carefully. The weekend is going to be chilly. So we have our cold front that's going to sink south of the area, but we also have a wedge that's going to build in. So that's going to pull in some cooler air. So not only is it going to be a washout of a day on Saturday right now, it's going to be a chilly rain. We're talking 50s. I'll show you that on the 7-day in just a second. Let's talk about some better news, shall we? So we have that cold front moving through that's going to bring widespread rain for the end of the week, especially on Saturday, which we have the first alert for. But then as we head into next week, we'll have an area of high pressure build in. One that's going to bring us the cooler air because of where it's positioned. That's going to pull in cooler air from the northwest. That'll be that wedge we talk about. That'll bring us temperatures unseasonably cool through the weekend. But the good news about this is as it kind of dominates and grows stronger through the start of next week, we're going to be in a drier weather pattern. So looking long range into after the 7-day, it does look like next week, even into next weekend, will primarily be dry. So we are going to keep our fingers crossed on that, that can continue, that trend can continue because we need a little bit of a break from the rain. Really, it's been just such a wet pattern. Flash flooding we'll have to watch for, especially south of the city over the next few days because places like Jasper and Putnam County, places like Troup and Meriwether County, you could pick up 3 to 4 inches of rain in just a few days. So flash flooding will need to be monitored down there. But again, hopefully we do set up into this drier pattern next week, which is looking likely. We're going to be watching it and we're going to be keeping our fingers crossed. So today we have the first alert for the morning fog, maybe a stray shower through the afternoon. Most of us are going to stay dry with temperatures in the upper 70s. If you are north of the city, you might actually head into the 80s because you've just been drier. You've not had the thick fog this morning. Wednesday, very warm. We'll see partly cloudy skies, mid 80s. A few showers Thursday with temperatures in the low 80s, but we'll have a few showers possible, mainly northwest of the city, but could have a few isolated showers out ahead of our cold front elsewhere. Light rain on Friday with a 50% coverage, so a bit of a rainy day. Friday and Saturday are definitely get your spring cleaning done inside, go to the movies, find something to watch on one of the streaming channels. It's going to be one of those like cuddle up with a good book kind of day on Friday and Saturday. So Saturday is a first alert, but take a look at that, the temperature. Between the rain that's going to kind of start Friday, the wedge building in, and then the rain starting Saturday morning through most of the day, temperatures are only going to climb into the 50s. It'll be a chilly rain, going to feel more wintry out there and look more wintry with that just overcast, dreary look on Saturday. We will dry out for Easter Sunday, low 60s for afternoon highs, with the chance for some morning showers. And then Monday, you'll need the jacket as you head back to school next week. A lot of the students back from spring break. 40s for the morning, definitely jacket worthy, but afternoon temperatures in the low 70s, partly cloudy with maybe a stray shower. But again, it does look like we head into a drier pattern next week, which will be wonderful. Again, we've looked as far out as we can go models wise, and it looks like we might get lucky with a dry weekend next weekend, which would be wonderful because we haven't been able to say that for a couple weekends now. So hang in there, everyone. Enjoy the dry days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Parents trying to plan out again spring break this week. Today through Thursday seem to be the best days for that, despite the dreary start to the day today. And then we look ahead to a rainy end to the week and start to the weekend, thankfully drying out just in time for Easter Sunday, with the exception of a few morning showers. All right, everyone. Well, happy 404 Day. So thankful to call Atlanta home. There's just so much to celebrate, so much beauty to go check out between the botanical gardens. You have the zoo, you have the aquarium, you have our beautiful skyline, all of our wonderful restaurants and culture here. It's just fantastic. So get out and celebrate in whatever way you can. Of course, Truist Park has something going on. Piedmont Park has something going on. Lots to do. We have plenty of information on how you could celebrate 404 Day on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and on our app. The weather will improve for it, so you'll eventually get to walk out in the beautiful sunshine this afternoon. We will see sunshine. It'll be nice and warm. And if you take any photos, be sure to tag us because we'd love to be able to share them either online, on air, of how you guys are celebrating 404 Day. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll catch you guys here next time.